Welcome to Rome. This is The Bittersweet Life with Katy Sewell and Tiffany Parks. Hello, this is The Bittersweet Life. I'm Katy Sewell. Today is a Patreon preview episode, a peek behind the curtain at the very special episodes that are happening over at patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life podcast. Your support, if you love this show, is absolutely vital to its continuation, and you get benefits from supporting the show too. You get 2 bonus episodes every month, and lots of them are a little bit more off the cuff. You'll hear us discussing topics that you wouldn't hear us talking about normally. Today, we answer a question from one of our Patreon members, Tom, who asks us about films that take place in Seattle or Rome. That leads to a wide-ranging discussion about how cities are used as a backdrop, when filmmakers get it right and when they get it wrong. Here's a taste of that episode.
I wouldn't say this movie captured Rome poorly. It was just a really, really bad movie that had the possibility of being a really great movie. And that is, oh gosh, is it called To Rome with Love? I think it's a Woody Allen movie. And I mean, I'm a mildly enthusiastic Woody Allen fan when it comes to his movies, not like necessarily him as a person.
Okay.
Some of his old stuff I really, really enjoy. I love the old stuff with Diane Keaton when they were young. Love that. Truly adore. And then, some of the more recent ones, I feel like with Woody Allen movies, you've got like, they're either hit or miss, right? Mm-hmm. They're either amazing or they're like, what in the world was that?
Uh-huh.
And this movie is like that. It's like, what in the world was that? And Claudio and I saw it not only in the cinema, we saw it in like the outdoor summer cinema. And so we watched it and it was like a beautiful summer night. And it was just it was supposed to be this awesome movie. And there were some really great actors in it. And it was so bad. It was so bad. But it wasn't about capturing Rome poorly. Like they actually had a couple of really great shots. The cinematography wasn't bad. It was the story and the acting that was really bad. And which kind of surprised me, he really went for a lot of cliches. Like he really milked the cliches and not in an ironic way. It was like your researchers or whoever your advisors, they were not the right people because it was just, it was not good. A more recent TV show that takes place not just in Rome, but all over Italy that I loved was Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came out in the past 2, maximum 3 months. So it's on Netflix. It's amazing. And It is pretty faithful because I've read the book. It's a pretty faithful adaptation of The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith, which I happen to love the book. Anyway, this new version, as much as I loved the movie and I thought, wow, then I read the book and I was like, wow, this film, like, almost as good as the book. The TV show is even better. And it's so faithful to the book, almost to a T. There's a couple little things at the very end that are different, but it's almost entirely faithful to the book. It's so much darker.
Yeah.
It's so much less like, oh, party, we live in the good life, we're expats, tuvo val americano, it's dark. And the character of Tom Ripley is not the likable Matt Damon. He's much more sinister.
Good. He should
and
be.
It is so good. It is so good. And it is shot entirely in black and white. The cinematography is absolutely beautiful. And it takes place, I'll tell you where, it takes place in Atrani, which is on the Amalfi Coast. There's maybe 1 or 2 scenes in Palermo. There's at least 1 scene in Naples and several scenes in Rome and a few scenes in Venice. So it takes place all over Italy. And the scenes in Rome are beautiful, especially there's a couple of scenes filmed out on the ancient Appian Way at night, which, the good thing about the ancient Appian Way is it has not changed.
Yeah.
It's really the same as it was probably 200-300 years ago, if not more. So when you're watching it, especially in black and white, you really feel like you're back in the 50s or 60s when it takes place.
That episode is currently out and available at patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life podcast. That, and there's lots of other episodes too. Give it a trial. You can get a free week over at patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life podcast. There's a link in the show notes. And thank you to those of you who already support us. And for those of you who consider it or even jump on board, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.